Good evening. My name is Reginald Chancellor, student at Hines Community College here in Pearl, Mississippi, Rankin Campus. My student ID is 1479679. On this video, I will be speaking on criminal law. Criminal law is a crime committed against society, which is punishable with a fine or with time. There are two types of criminal crimes, which consist of misdemeanor and felony crimes. Misdemeanor crimes are crimes that consist of smaller crimes and could be with a fine or of up to $1,000 with 6 months to a year in jail. Felony crimes can consist of larger crimes such as murder, which consist of $1,000 in fines up and up. Also with a year in jail to life in jail. I have wrote down a couple of things to help me jot through this pretty briefly. Misdemeanor crimes can be in the court system, can be sought in city courts or in justice courts of that county. Felony crimes will be seen in circuit court or higher courts, depending on the extent of the crime. Traffic court and criminal court are the two types of courts, crimes that pretty much are seen in the justice system. Traffic court consists of a ticket or parking violation, which can most of the time will be seen at a city jail, main city court, in front of a city attorney, a city judge. Criminal court can also be seen at a city, and then if so, will be bound over to a higher court, depending on if it's a misdemeanor or a felony. Shoplifting is a crime which, for as criminal, will be seen sometimes, and depending on the amount of the shoplifting, will be seen at a city court. Higher courts, such as justice court, can see shoplifting also as a misdemeanor, depending on the arresting agency. Anything higher than that will be considered a felony. When incarcerated, you can be appointed a court-appointed lawyer. These lawyers are funded by this government for the help of the inmate that is incarcerated. Everybody that's incarcerated will not accept a court-appointed lawyer and can afford a self-appointed lawyer with the help of friends and family. Also, you can get a self-appointed lawyer if you are released up before the court date or trial. When a court-appointed lawyer, you will be notified of this court-appointed lawyer mainly near the time of the initial appearance, when you are pleading guilty or not guilty to the courts. At that time, you'll either be bound over to a higher jury, or you may be to place bond. There are two types of bonds. There are cash bonds and written bonds. Cash bonds are mostly paid to that court before your release. Written bonds are paid to a surety or otherwise a bonding company. With that, the bonding company is responsible for you to report back and appear in court on the given date, which will be given to you at the date of the bond. Sureties are responsible for your whereabouts and making sure that everything that you need to know about where and when your court will take place. Bonds can be revoked depending on the guidelines of the bond, which will be a result of being rearrested and being re-booked back into jail on those same charges or more charges. Most of the time that a bond is revoked, it is revoked because of flight risks or failure to appear. When failure to appear, most of the times, depending on what court you're in, you will have to pay a cash bond if you fail to appear on the written bond. When you arrive for your trial, either on your own or by the bonding company responsibility, sometimes, with your trial, depending on what court you're in, you can go to trial the same day as your initial appearance. Depending on the court docket, how big the court is, and how many people is on the court docket at that time. Sometimes you'll plead not guilty, and then they'll be like, well, let's go to court on it, and you go from there. When you go to trial, that's your time to plead your case, either for or against what is being said. Most of the time, it's going to be against what they say. All right. At the end of your trial, either you will have, depending on what court it is, you'll be sentenced at that same time or at a later date within those trial times. Most of the time on larger cases, the sentencing is done mostly on down the road, and smaller courts, sentencing can be done right then because the punishment is much smaller in the city courts, such as paying a small fine or doing community service or doing just being on house arrest or something like that for those smaller crimes. With the bigger courts, you mainly be a jury on point where they'll plead you not guilty or guilty of the crime. And most of the time with sentencing, you've been pretty much proven guilty, and the court will come back at a later date to sentence you to either what time or fine. If you do not agree with the court decisions, at that time you can ask for an appeal. Some appeals are done through your lawyer, or you can, with your lawyer, get in contact with a bonding company to do an appeal bond, which will be then sent from your lawyer, taken to the courts, and placed with that court to appeal the decision that was made by the courts. These are just a couple small things about criminal law.